Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy and that you find as much joy in our service today as I do. I look forward to this time together where we can connect for a time of reflection. I know we are apart physically, but we have certainly proven we are not alone. Let today be the start of something new. We seek to welcome you, your whole self, with all your truth and doubts, your worries and your hopes. We welcome you. We need not to think alike to love alike. We are people of many beliefs and backgrounds, people with many religious backgrounds, people with none, people who believe in God and people who don't, people that need to find community, people that are seeking spiritual and personal truth, to questions, to explore new ideas, to find comfort, and perhaps to find the answer to some of your bigger questions. We welcome you this morning to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Northern Nevada, where it is our mission to grow together in love, faith, justice, and joy. My name is Xiomara Rodriguez, and I'm honored to serve as your worship associate today. We have asked everyone to stay home and view or hear us on your personal devices. Know that you're still welcome all to be part of us regardless of racial identity, age, economic circumstances, immigration status, sexual orientation, or gender ID. We are here dedicated to the proposition that beneath all our difference, behind all our diversities, there is still unity that makes us one and bind us forever together. If you're someone who is viewing this for the first time, feel free to contact our office or website for more information. And it's also where you can find the newcomer form online. You can sign up for our newsletter letter that keeps you informed of all the activities here at UFNN. You may notice that on the top screen there is a speaker gallery view. You can toggle back and forth for more info, however you want to view the service. Also, you can go to the upper right corner of your picture and find three dots and look for rename and change the name for your picture. We love to know who's out there so we could say hi. You will remain muted throughout the service. You can make comments at the chat box anytime, but especially during joys and concerns. You will remain, you'll be invited to join us for coffee time immediately after service. Thank you for being with us today.
What a wonderful morning to be together in this space today. You're invited to come with all of who you are. We're all invited to come with open hearts, open minds, and open spirits for what is here for us today. Come into this time and place out of the world for a few moments. Come into this time and place out of ourselves for a few moments. We come to receive, we come to give, for that is how we create the mystery of community together. You are welcome to bring all of you into this space today. Xiomara will light our chalice for us as we begin our service.
Our chalice lighting today is by Maureen Killibrand. As we weather the wind of change, may we have wisdom to cherish moments of stillness. As we recollect times of challenges and of pain, may we remember also the gracefulness blessing of our lives. As we look to the future unknowns, may we have the boldness to trust that there is an unimagined good yet to come.
Now let us sing to the power of the faith. Sing. Now let us sing to the power of the faith. Lift up your voice, let us pray. Let us sing to the power of the faith within. Now let us sing to the power of the hope. Now let us sing to the power of the hope. Lift up your voice, let us pray. Let us sing to the power of the hope within. Now let us sing to the power of the love. Now let us sing to the power of the love. Lift up your voice, let us pray. Now let us sing to the power of the love within. Now let us sing to the power of the joy. Now let us sing to the power of the joy. Lift up your voice, let us pray. Now let us sing to the power of the joy within.
As many of you know, I've been away for the past few weeks for some renewal and restoration, and spent much of that time out in nature in snowy woods. And I wanted to share with you this morning a couple of poems by Mary Oliver that sort of speak to that experience. And I hope that these can speak to all of us. Whenever I have that opportunity to be out in the natural world for a period of time, I like to listen to a Mary Oliver CD in my car. You know, there's really something to hearing her read her words. And so I immerse myself in that, and it gives me what I come to think of as seeing with Mary Oliver eyes out in the natural world. So I offered these two poems as we begin our service today. The first one is called It Was Early. It was early, which has always been my hour to begin looking at the world. And of course, even in the darkness, to begin listening into it. Especially under the pines where the owl lives and sometimes calls out as I walk by, as he did on this morning. So many gifts. What do they mean? In the marshes where the pink light was just arriving, the mink with his bristle tail was stalking the soft-eared mice. And in the pines, their cones were heavy, each one ordained to open. Sometimes I need only to stand wherever I am to be blessed. Little mink, let me watch you. Little mice, run and run. Dear pine cone, let me hold you as you open. And then this one, which is called When I Am Among the Trees. When I am among the trees, especially the willows and the honey locust, equally the beech, the oaks, and the pines, they give off such hints of gladness. I would almost say that they save me and daily. I am so distant from the hope of myself in which I have goodness and discernment, and never hurry through the world, but walk slowly and bow often. Around me, the trees stir in their leaves and call out, "Stay a while." The light flows from their branches and they call again. It's simple, they say. And you too have come into the world to do this, to go easy, to be filled with light, and to shine.
This is a time in our service when we have the opportunity to share our bounties with each other. Since we're not physically together to pass the basket, we can do so virtually by texting 73256, putting UUFNN in the message box and hit send. Then follow the instructions to provide your offering. You can also mail a check to the office at 780 Del Monte Lane, Reno, Nevada, 89511. The slickest and cleanest way to donate is to sign up for automatic giving. Contact the office and Carol will send you an automatic draft authorization form or pull it from the website. Share the Plate this month is for the Bird Eye Posse. They help feed our hungry neighbors. Remember that you will have to text separately from our offering. It is in this time when we see the real strength of our fellowship. So many of our members have pulled together in some amazing ways. All the volunteers who are doing so much to keep us all in touch with one another. We really do care about one another. It is in the act of offering our hearts in faith that something in us transforms, proclaiming that we no longer stand on the sidelines, but we are leaping directly into the center of our lives, our truth, and our full potential. Thank you, everyone who has stepped forward to make sure our fellowship is financially secure in these uncertain times. We are aware that there's some of us that cannot make their commitment because of the current situation. So I urge those that can to please contribute beyond your pledge. I am feeling positive that by all of us stepping up, we will be stronger than ever. Thank you for taking care of our beloved community. Now let the offering begin. Now could you all help me in dedicating our offerings to the work of this fellowship, which is helping more people grow in love, faith, justice, and joy. We dedicate ourselves, and these are offerings.
I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. There is a hurting in my family, and there is sorrow in my town. There is a panic all across the nation, and there is wailing the whole world round. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. May the children see more clearly, and may the elders be more wise. May the winds of change caress us, even though they burn our eyes. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of change. Give me a mighty yoke to hold my confusion, and give me a desert to hold my fears. Give me a sunset to hold my wonder, and give me an ocean to hold my tears. But I am open and I am willing, for to be hopeless would seem so strange. It dishonors those who go before us, so lift me up to the light of
Gotta love that Holly Near. Thank you for that. You know, I really love a well-crafted, beautifully woven together sermon or reflection. This is probably not one of those today. But I wanted to come to you this morning and just share from my heart some of the musings and revelations and realizations from my time away these last few weeks, spending lots of time in snowy woods, attending to all of those very important R's of rest, restoration, refueling, replenishment. And I'm grateful to have had that much needed time and space. So I'm just going to share some random thoughts, some musings, some of the things that were alive in my heart these last few weeks. Number one is those Mary Oliver poems. As I mentioned before, the opportunity to see with Mary Oliver eyes. You know, being outside changes everything for me. It changes the way I breathe, the way I see and experience the world, the way I see and experience myself. I start to understand that every snowflake is a mystery and a miracle. All the billions of snowflakes are different. How is that even possible? The snowflakes and the pine needles, I start to feel a oneness and start to feel that they know my name. And who's to say that they don't? The boulders so beautifully in a snowy meadow, the way the snow hangs on the top and starts to melt. The diamonds on the snow that sparkle in the reflection of the sun. The opportunity to see with Mary Oliver eyes. I'll never be a poet like she is. I'll never put words together quite the way that she does. But when I go and immerse myself in the natural world, I understand where she's coming from. 2, it's an inside job. Setting aside time to go inward is essential. There is, I think, a profound knowing deep inside each of us that may take some effort and time to access. And beloveds, there is no time like the present. When we reach down inside and we find that knowing, it may be saying to us, just rest. Just stop. It might be saying, the world is ready for what only you can offer. It might be saying, don't give up. Do what you can, do what you are here to do. Only you will know. If we're not diligent about that in these times, burnout and cynicism are almost inevitable. As Unitarian Universalists, that going inward looks different for each one of us. And you know, I feel like we don't know yet the impact of this time. And some of it will be positive. And so setting aside time to go inward is essential to know ourselves, to refresh, to connect. It's an inside job. There's a song that I like to listen to along with my Mary Oliver CDs when I go and have this kind of time away. It's from a group called Della Mae. And the song is called For the Sake of My Heart. And there's a line in it that says, there is strength in the love of living and in knowing how to be still. I would sing it for you if I could, but you don't really want me to do that. So a few others of the words are, it talks about going to wander the mountains. For the sake of finding my way again, I must be in this place alone. It says there is healing in the sun as she rises and forgiveness when she settles back down in the hills. There is strength in the love of living and in knowing how to be still. It's an inside job. 3, this is a lesson that I have learned over and over in life and in so many of my adventures, and that is wherever our eyes are looking, that is where we will go. Whether I'm biking or hiking or kayaking or skiing or walking, wherever my eyes are looking, that is where I'm going to go. This has become even more poignant as we have been raising our new puppy these last few months, and recently in teaching her how to walk on a leash with manners. We purchased this halter where you hook the leash on the front. And so what happens is when she pulls on the leash, it causes her to turn around. Wherever our eyes are looking, that's where we're going to go. Over the last few weeks, I have spent quite a bit of time doing something I really love to do, and that is cross-country skate skiing. Now, if you don't know what skate skiing is, this is not the traditional striding cross country. This is more like long distance skating on skis, which if you think of watching the Olympic biathlon, that's what they're doing. They're skate skiing. And I love it so much. It's a fantastic workout. It's a challenge, and I'm really not very good at it. I spend way too much time watching my skis and my feet to see what they're doing. And so I had to learn all over again these last few weeks that when I look up and see where I'm going, it changes my body posture, my stance. It changes the way I ski into more of how it's supposed to be. Where we're looking, that's where we're going to go. Wherever our eyes are, that's where we'll be taken. This is true for our lives, true for our relationships, and it's true for our community. 4, puppies are delightful teachers of joy in the moment. Whether it's chasing a leaf that's blowing in the wind, or whether it's greeting a loved one with that unconditional love and excitement, even if you've just left the room for 20 minutes. They are such teachers of living in the moment and finding joy. Even if you don't have a dog, the next time you're out and about and see one, just take a few minutes to tune in and watch and see what you discover. 5, beloveds, what we have witnessed in our country these last few weeks has been so difficult, and everything that we are coming to understand about our country and who we are in these moments. And what I have come to these last few weeks about that is that from our deepest spiritual place, I think what we need to understand and embrace is this: dehumanizing and demonizing what we deplore is a function of hate. It is a strategy that has been used throughout history to oppress and control and to make oppression palatable and okay to the oppressors themselves. It was done systematically and strategically, this dehumanizing and demonizing with the Jews in Nazi Germany. It was what justified slavery. It has been done with Black folks and people of color throughout American history. And it's been done to deny the rights of LGBTQ people. And so what I want us to look at and to understand and acknowledge is that once we begin to dehumanize and demonize, we become them. And once we become them, we are incapable of creating a different world. You know, as difficult as it is, this is really where the proverbial rubber meets the road with our first principle. Our first UU principle of the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Our principles begin by saying we affirm and promote. We affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And that is pretty tough in these days. It's a tall order, it's a challenge. And we were made for challenges. You know, I don't have the answers for repairing the breach, but I do know that foundationally, if we dehumanize and demonize that which repels us, we don't stand a chance. And hear me when I say that I am all for accountability and justice. That is an important piece in the process. It has to be first and foremost. It is a both and proposition. It has to be both. Both accountability and justice. And both being in a place of not dehumanizing and demonizing. We must take extreme care not to become what we are so troubled by. Six, once again, it's an inside job. Doing our work around race and racial justice, it's very deeply personal work. We as Unitarian Universalists like to think that we have done that work already. And beloveds, hear me when I say to you that nothing could be more dangerous than to think that we have already done it. It is finished. This is something that we must work on and take a deep dive into and be diligent about every single day. Every single day. You know, we are so indoctrinated in our culture where racism lives in the DNA that it lives inside of us. It's impossible for it not to. Every single day, we must recommit. I'm reading Caste by Wilkerson. I invited you to read it with me. You'll be hearing more about that in the coming weeks, and I hope that you're reading it too. And we are going to need to look rigorously at ourselves going forward in order to repair and reform the pandemic of racism in our country. It begins as an inside job. And finally, beloveds, it continues to be a hard time and an exhausting time. We're learning to be uncomfortable, which is really not a bad thing. I think we're starting to see the beginning of the end of this time of the COVID pandemic. And we cannot afford to become complacent because the virus will not become complacent. We must take care of our health, take care of ourselves, take care of each other, hold our world precious, and be engaged going forward in the changes that need to happen, creating the world as it can be, as we dream it can be. And we are perfectly suited and situated for that work. There's much work to be done, beloveds, but first, it's an inside job. May we be faithful and diligent and committed in doing all the pieces and parts of the work deep inside ourselves and out in the world. Blessed be, and amen. We join together in a few moments of community meditation and prayer. We join our hearts and our minds and our spirits as one. Ground of our being, all that is holy, spirit of life and love. We bring this day the depths of our hearts. We bring our hopes and our dreams. We bring our sorrows, our confusions, our fears. And we bring them to be held in community, knowing that no one holds them alone. We give thanks for this amazing community. We give thanks for the opportunity to be together in this way. We give thanks that while our building may be closed, our community is not, and we are evermore here for each other. You're invited to take a few moments and offer your meditations, your prayers in the chat box. We gather all of our deepest meditations of our hearts, those that we are able to speak, and those that are held in such deep places that we have not even words. And we take all of those and we hold them together in the heart of love. I invite us to offer our gesture to one another in our windows on Zoom, one hand held up, the other hand on the heart. And that is our way of expressing our care to one another, our way of saying, I see you, I hear you. We're all connected. I take this opportunity to offer a very personal Thanksgiving, and that is 23 years together today with my beloved partner and soulmate, Sue Steph. Happy anniversary.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Thank you so much for joining us for our service today. I hope that you have received something that touched you meaningfully, perhaps something that you didn't even know that you needed. Please do share our worship link widely to family and friends, folks who could benefit from this time of connection together on Sunday mornings. Please watch your emails for all of our programming and connection opportunities that continues even in these times. I have a couple of announcements from Kristen concerning some programming, and one is that you're invited to attend on February 9th the opportunity to engage in the way that music plays a vital role in inspiring and motivating and connecting people involved in social movements. Kathy Bullock, Leah Gilmore, and Kim Harris, three amazing vocalists, will be offering music and stories from mass meetings of the American Civil Rights Movement, today's movements for racial and social justice. So watch our Facebook and our emails for login details. It's a UUA event that's part of our programming for racial justice. And then today, immediately following our service, families and children and youth are invited to learn how to participate in our Sunday services in various ways. It might be lighting a chalice, it might be sharing a piece of music, but there's many, many opportunities to engage in, to learn about how you might like to be involved, either as a family or as a child or youth in upcoming services. So Kristen will have some information about that. And what you'll do if you're interested in that is you will stay in the breakout room, or rather stay in this main room when everyone else goes off to coffee hour. And Kristen will be there to lead this session. Please do stay on for informal coffee hour conversations in small groups at the close of our service. And let's join together now in our closing song.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
May we form our symbolic point of contact for our blessing and our benediction. Indeed, beloveds, what a time to be alive. There is a great turning happening. And in this great turning, indeed, may we learn to lead with love. Blessed be. Amen and namaste.
Hey everyone, anyone who's still in this room, in just a little minute, we're going to talk about how to involve children, youth, and families in our worship services. So if you are still here in a couple minutes, that's what you're going to be here for. Otherwise, you are invited to join one of the coffee hour groups, and we'll start in just a moment.